Imagine yourself in a dim-lit, smoke-filled room, the smooth notes of a saxophone weaving through the shadows, the kind of place where emotions simmer beneath the surface, barely restrained. You feel it, don't you? The electric hum of emotion. It's not just in your head. It's in the way your body betrays you with every twitch of muscle that tilt of your lips. You know when you smile? It's the mouth, those muscles pulling upwards in a sign of positive emotion. But when things get dark, when that sadness, anger, or fear takes hold, it's in the eyes. The eyes always give it away. The tension around them, that's where the negative emotions reveal themselves. What's wild is that no matter where you're from, some of these expressions are the same. A scowl, a grin, they're a universal language spoken through flesh and bone. But there's a twist, a deep layer. The way you express your emotions has a cultural flavor, an accent if you will. Every society has its own set of rules for how much you're allowed to show and when you have to hold back. It's all about the display rules. It's knowing when to smile and when to keep that grin hidden. How much sorrow to reveal and just how much rage to let slip. It's a delicate dance between what you feel inside and what the world around you lets you show. The heart might scream, but the face whispers or stays silent altogether. I sat down with Cannon, Bard, James, and Scatcher. They each gave me their take, smooth and cool, like old friends swapping stories over a drink. Cannon leans back, casual but confident. Listen, emotions, they're fast, man. You feel them and your body reacts at the same time. Something hits you, loud noise. A sudden shock, boom, your heart races, your muscles tense, but you're feeling the right fear, and there. It's simultaneous, like playing two notes on the piano together. That's what Bard and I are getting at. Arousal and emotion hit you at the same time. James smirks, not quite agreeing. Not so fast. You've got it backwards. First your body reacts, the arousal, the physical stuff. Your heart starts pounding, your hands sweat, and then you recognize the emotion. It's like the body setting up the stage, and only after that you can figure it out. It's fear, joy, or anger. The body speaks first, and the mind follows. Scatcher jumps in with that glint in his eyes, and he's about to drop a curveball. They're both half right, but there's more to it. Arousal, that's just the start. Yeah, you feel your body react. That's just raw energy. Cognition, that's where the magic happens. Your brain looks around, tries to figure out why you're feeling what you're feeling. It's that pounding heart because you're scared. Or is it excitement? Or is it the combo? The two factors of arousal and thought, that creates emotion. I nod, listening to these minds clash and meld each theory, a riff in the song of emotion. So, there I was, caught in the haze of the night, heart pounding like a steady bass line, my mind swirling with arousal. But the funny thing, I couldn't tell you why. That's the trick of it. Sometimes your body's got you wound up and you don't even know where your feelings are coming from. Scatcher would call it misattribution of arousal. The mind takes a stab at figuring it out, but it doesn't always hit the right note. You might think it's love when it's just the adrenaline from the danger you walked in or walked out of 5 minutes ago. Or maybe you mistake fear for excitement. Your brain's playing catch up with your body. Then there's the excitation transfer is what they call it. Oh yeah, I felt that too. Picture this. You're already jazzed up, your pulse still racing from one thing, a close call, a high energy moment, and then something else hits you. You feel that second emotion like it's been dialed up to 11. You're not just angry, you're furious. You're not just attracted, you're head over heels. All because that arousal started with you? It's still there, bleeding into the new thing, amplifying it like a saxophone solo that just won't quit, building intensity note after note. That's how the two-factor theory works in the shadows. Your body stirs the pot, but your mind decides what's cooking, and sometimes it gets it all wrong. The night has a way of making you feel things you can't always put into words, but you still need to get it across somehow. That's where the real game begins, communicating it to others, what you're feeling, even when you can barely understand it yourself. It's in the way your voice trembles, the way your hands shake or your eyes lock on someone's. The tension in your body gives you away, and whether you mean to or not, the message slips through the cracks. People catch on. You don't even have to say a thing, but here's the kicker. What you feel doesn't just stay inside. It influences what you see, how you take in the world. It's like putting on tinted glasses. That anxiety, it turns a quiet alley into a danger zone. That excitement, suddenly every moment feels electric, alive. Emotions aren't just inside you. They bleed into how you perceive everything around you. And that arousal you feel in your chest, that rush of blood in your veins, it's not just for show. No, it's adaptive. Your body gearing up, ready for whatever's coming. Heart racing, muscles tense. It's your survival instinct kicking in. Whether it's fight or flight, or even if you're about to step into something good, that physiological response, it's your body's way of saying, I've got your back, ready to move to act. You feel it humming beneath the surface, pushing you to survive, to thrive, to make it through the night. That's the power of emotion. It's a language, a lens, and a weapon all wrapped into one, and it never lets go. You're probably wondering what we're doing here, why I'm telling you all this. Well, let me tell you. It's because I remember. I remember her talking about it one night, like she was giving me some kind of map to navigate through the storm. Emotions, they're tricky, she said, leaning back, eyes soft but focused. But the real power, it's in being able to regulate them, control them, shape them to your will. It's not about shutting them off, but knowing how to modulate them. It's like steering a car through a downpour. You don't stop the rain, but you adjust your grip on the wheel, your speed, the way you take the curves. She had this way of breaking things down so they made sense to me. There's 5 ways you can do it, she said, counting off on her fingers. First, she started, there's situation selection. You choose where to go, who you're around, what you're about to get into. You're picking your battles. If you know something's going to set you off, you either avoid it or walk straight into it, knowing what's coming. Then there's situational modification. She continued, her eyes catching mine. You can't always avoid stuff, but you can tweak it, change the scene, adjust the vibe. It's like when we'd be arguing and one of us would crack a joke to break the tension. Same idea. You alter the situation so the emotions shift with it. Now, if you can't change the situation, she said, you can always change your focus. That's attentional deployment. You shift your attention somewhere else. Find something else to concentrate on. You know how you look when you're trying not to cry, or you fix on a detail to stay calm? That's what I'm talking about. You put your mind somewhere else. She paused for a second as if she was weighing her next words. Then there's cognitive change. This one's big. It's all about how you think about what's happening. You reframe it, see it from different angles. Maybe instead of seeing something as a threat, you start looking at it as a challenge, something to overcome. You change the story in your head, and the emotions follow suit. Finally, she leaned in, her voice dropping a little. Last one, response modulation. When all else fails, and you're already feeling it hard, you regulate how you react. You breathe slower, loosen up your fists, stop your voice from shaking. Even if you're burning inside, you change the way it comes out on the outside. You modulate the response. She let out a soft laugh, like she knew I was still piecing it together. You can't always control what hits you, but you've got options, ways to handle it. The trick is knowing which one to use and when. That's emotion regulation, babe. That's the secret. And just like that, her words stuck with me, like she was guiding me through the storm, one tragedy at a time.